Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a pretty incredible natural material. It's something that's been around for thousands of years, but it's still turning heads in the world of luxury textiles. So let's get right into it and explore the amazing world of alpaca fiber.
Okay, I want you to imagine something. Think about your absolute favorite, coziest pashmina shawl. Now, what if I told you there's a fabric that's even warmer? And not only that, but it's lighter and softer than the wool sweaters we all pull out during the winter, and get this, it doesn't have any of that annoying itch. Sounds impossible, right? Well, it's not. This stuff is very, very real.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with its origins as the Andes silky secret. Then we'll look at why it was a fiber fit for royalty. After that, we'll see how it goes from the alpaca to yarn, dig into why it's nature's perfect insulator, and finally check out how we use this luxury fiber today.
All right, first up, the Andes silky secret. Let's really get into what this luxury fiber from nature is all about. So what exactly is alpaca fiber? Well, simply put, it's a natural protein fiber that comes from the fleece of the alpaca, an animal that lives way up in the Andes Mountains in South America. And look, if you take away just one thing from this part, remember these three qualities. It's silky, it's lightweight, and it is incredibly warm. That's really the magic combination right there.
Okay, moving on to section 2, a fiber fit for royalty. This isn't some newfangled material. Alpaca has this incredible, deep history that's all about luxury and status. It's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, this goes way, way back. For literally thousands of years, people in the Andes, in places like Peru and Bolivia, knew how special this stuff was. Then when the Incan Empire was at its peak, alpaca was considered so valuable that only kings and nobles were allowed to wear it. I mean, can you imagine? And fast forward to today, it's still seen as a top-tier luxury fiber all over the world, pretty much for all the same reasons.
I mean, look at that quote, the exclusive right of Incan kings. That really says it all, doesn't it? This wasn't just clothing, it was a status symbol. It meant you were powerful. And honestly, that sense of premium quality, it stuck around.
Next up, let's talk about the journey from the mountain to the mill. So, how do we get from a fluffy animal living high up in the mountains to, say, that beautiful scarf or sweater you might own? It's a really interesting process.
The whole process is actually pretty straightforward and really respectful of nature. First up is shearing. The alpacas get a gentle haircut just once a year. Then comes the sorting, where the fleece is sorted by hand to separate it based on quality and all of its amazing natural colors. And finally, the fibers get a good cleaning and are spun into that gorgeous soft yarn. Simple as that.
And this is one of my favorite parts about it, its eco-friendly side. Because alpaca fleece naturally comes in so many different shades. We're talking everything from brilliant whites to deep blacks and all sorts of browns and grays in between. There's often no need to use harsh chemical dyes. That makes it a much more sustainable choice, which is a huge plus.
Okay, now we get to the really cool stuff. Section 4. Nature's perfect insulator. We've said it's warm and soft, but why? What's the secret sauce? Let's get a little bit nerdy and look at the science behind the softness. The easiest way to understand this is to put it side by side with regular old sheep's wool, something we're all familiar with. So, warmth, alpaca is superior. The feel, wool can definitely be prickly, but alpaca is just silky soft. Allergies? Wool has lanolin, which can cause issues, but alpaca is hypoallergenic. And weight? Alpaca is noticeably lighter. So the bottom line is pretty clear. You get more warmth with less weight and none of the itch. It's a win-win-win. So, what's the big secret? How does it do all that? Well, it's all about the structure of the fiber itself. Unlike wool, every single strand of alpaca fiber is hollow on the inside. Seriously. Just picture millions of tiny little air pockets. That trapped air acts as a super efficient insulator. It's what gives you all that incredible warmth without needing to be thick and bulky. That's the science behind its magic. And remember how we said it's itch-free and hypoallergenic? Well, here's why. It all comes down to something called lanolin. That's a waxy grease you find in sheep's wool, and it's what causes irritation for a lot of people. But Alpaca, it has virtually zero lanolin. You can see it right there in the chart. This makes it perfect for anyone, even people with really sensitive skin.
And believe it or not, the benefits don't stop there. Alpaca is also super strong and durable, so anything you buy made from it is going to last a long, long time. It also resists pilling. You know those annoying little balls of fluff? It has this beautiful natural shine to it, and it's less likely to shrink than wool. I mean, it really is a high-performance fiber from top to bottom. All right, our final section, the luxury we wear. We've talked about the history and the science, so let's bring it all together and see where this amazing ancient fiber shows up in our world today.
You'll find alpaca in some really beautiful high-end products. For clothing, think gorgeous sweaters, shawls, and coats that give you all that amazing warmth without making you feel bulky. For your home, you're looking at the softest, most luxurious blankets and throws you can imagine. And even for smaller things like scarves, socks, and hats, its durability and ability to keep you at the perfect temperature make it an absolutely fantastic choice.
So it really has come full circle, hasn't it? From being a material exclusive to Incan royalty all those centuries ago, to now being featured on modern fashion runways and making our homes cozier, it really is, and always has been, the absolute peak of natural, high-performance luxury.
And that really leaves us with something to think about, right? In a world where we're all searching for materials that are both sustainable and high performance, maybe the answer isn't in some high-tech lab. Maybe the future of what we wear is actually hidden in the ancient wisdom of the Andes. It definitely makes you think about the choices we make, doesn't it?